Sandra, thanks so much for joining us. There's a lot to cover here in this case. And first off, I mean, the developing news was that he is being held now in jail. Did that surprise you at all, given the circumstances, or no?
No, it didn't. Considering the press reported that when the raid occurred back in March of 2024, he was spotted at an airport, and his private jet actually took off to Antigua. So while the judge gave different grounds as to why the bail was being denied, I can't imagine that that was not in the back of their minds that he had access to private jets and may try to flee.
Did you read this indictment? Because, I kind of glanced over it, and just some of the highlights were shocking, frankly.
Well, the investigation was conducted by Homeland Security, and I think that it would have been shocking to me had we not seen the video of him with the singer Cassie
Oh.
from that hotel security video that they had tried to have destroyed before before the government got a hold of it. And so it didn't surprise me once I saw that type of the video and that type of behavior.
Mm.
You hear in rumor mills, the rumor circuits, that that had been his MO for a number of
Mm.
years. And, you don't know what is true or not true, but it's hard to deny it when you saw it on that hotel security video when he didn't think anyone was watching.
Yeah. In America, it's always, someone's fall from grace gets a lot of media attention. And this is going to be a story. Obviously, we're covering it right now, but this is something that is not going to go away. And this really is a fall from grace story, right?
Oh, it definitely is. But I think it is one that it's not a fall from grace. I'm above the law.
Mm.
And I think that often money and wealth can buy silence. And I think that when the government got involved, Homeland Security, due to the number of reports they had, and then when they raided his home and it appeared that the serial numbers, on the weapons that he had in his home in the closet had been, the had been obscured or defaced. So, yeah, it appears that there's been some bad behavior for a long period of time of threats of violence. There's reports that the sex acts were recorded,
Mm.
and then when the victims were trying to separate from Diddy and his constituents, that they would use those um, to to hold them hostage, if you will, and threatening to release those sex tapes. And there's allegations that they drugged them, so it is, yeah, it's sickening, is what it is.
Yeah. You said too that I guess this court, it's the same court that Harvey Weinstein was also put on trial. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I have always said when you are indicted by the U.S. Southern District of New York, you are going to prison.
Oh.
That is Homeland Security. What they have laid out is what they're able to prove, and they laid out a very detailed indictment. And it is when you are indicted in federal court, it is very rare that there is a not guilty
Mm.
finding by a jury.
Do you think too that this could also inspire, encourage, I don't know if those are the right words, but help other women, to come forward, because now that he is behind bars, that this would help some of those victims, tell their stories now?
Well, it was interesting in preparing to talk with you today. I was looking at the information that was being circulated among the different press releases, and there's actually a tip line,
Mm.
and they're encouraging other victims to come forward, but to come forward quickly.
Mm.
So, I think they obviously believe that they have enough for an indictment, um, especially since they're holding him. the U.S. magistrate judge indicated that she's going to hold him, confine him through trial. So they're going to make it a priority to get him. There's going to be a speedy trial, I believe. And so, they're encouraging through this tip line for other folks to come forward.
And he's facing life behind bars.
Yeah, it up to 20 years. The racketeering charge, I was looking at in federal court with racketeering or sex trafficking is punishable up to 20 years. So I don't know how many counts there's going to be in terms of the number of individuals that they determine that he was involved in sex trafficking. I don't know how many charges there's actually going to be that will end up being tried. Right now, there are 3. They certainly can amend it and add additional charges with additional victims that will impact, because different from state court, in federal court, there are sentencing guidelines. And so this U.S. Magistrate Court, what the magistrate does is she is the initial magistrate judge that presides over the case through the discovery. She will hear all discovery, all pretrial motions, but all dispositive motions. And then the trial, there'll be the U.S. judge will be the one who will preside over the case.
Is there anything else that you think that the people watching this would find fascinating about this case moving forward?
Well, I think it's interesting looking at the magistrate judge's background. She's well credentialed. She is a Yale, Harvard grad who spent time developing rights for pro se litigants in the court system, particularly in the court system. So she has been on what appears to be an advocate on the defense side. So for her to take such a drastic, radical position of denying bail, I think says a lot regarding the evidence that she has seen so far and is aware of. That, the indictment is just paper, right? But she's actually undoubtedly, in making her decision, has seen, they've presented evidence of his wrongdoing, and she's convinced that it is likely that a jury is going to convict him.
Sandra Spurgeon, thanks so much for your insight. We really appreciate it.
Fox 10 News at noon. We begin with a Fox 10 News alert. Phoenix police announcing the arrest of a teen accused of making threats against a dozen Valley schools.
The teen told police he did it, and it was because he was dared to do so. Police not releasing the name of the school, but said threats were made across 12 different schools on social media. All this taking place last week. 6,000 students missed class as a result of those threats. According to police, the teen admitted to making the threats, said he did it on a dare. He was booked into a juvenile correction center on several felonies, including terroristic threats and computer tampering.
Police right now are asking that if you or your child ever see a threat, report it to the school staff, and they say please don't repost it, saying that it could actually complicate the investigation as it spreads through social media. They also want to remind people that making a threat like this is a zero-tolerance issue, and if caught, will face felony charges.
Well, in the past 2 weeks, 17 threats of violence have been made within the Mesa Public School District. Mesa police say it's part of a nationwide trend.
And police have ID'd 6 kids behind those threats, and charges are being filed, but some parents are still worried. Fox 10's Nicole Christine spoke to some of those parents tonight as she joins us live with more. Nicole.
Yeah, good evening, guys. Those parents were attending a meeting tonight here at Stapley Junior High in Mesa, a place where Mesa PD has been investigating not one but 2 separate lists that have been threatening students. Now, those parents say their kids are really scared, some not even going to school, and they want better communication from school officials.
It's not a joke when you post something like that.
Dozens of parents came to Stapley Junior High in Mesa Thursday night for a meeting after a slew of recent threats targeting Mesa public schools. Some parents shared concerns ahead of time regarding transparency.
I'm here to advocate to have more communication with the parents and students themselves with what's going on as it's going on. My son and his friends were very scared, and they weren't spoken to with what I felt was a good time frame.
I still have 5 younger children below the son of mine who is at this junior high. And they're all in Mesa Public Schools. And I'm really hoping to gain some kind of a plan, an idea of a plan that they have to face this type of thing going forward.
School district leaders and Mesa PD say they're taking every threat seriously, despite not finding any credibility to the recent threats.
We have been working around the clock with our partners, Mesa Police Department, to investigate every lead, and we are realizing that most of these are jokes, but we have the police department has filed charges on 4 students that for disrupting the educational environment.
We investigate every threat that comes in. We investigate it thoroughly. We put several people on it. We have our SROs here that are tied into a lot of the students. And so we don't take any of that stuff lightly, because one mistake can lead to tragedy, and we don't want that.
Parents saying recent national events make them extra protective when hearing about any threat to their kids' schools.
Especially with what happened a few weeks ago when those children, that the lives were lost. It's not a joke anymore, and I think unfortunately they may need to show them as an example.
Now, starting Monday, weapons detection systems will be placed at the entrances here at Stapley Junior High, and the rest of the junior highs in the Mesa Public Schools District will follow. Now, an important note, all of the high schools within the Public Schools District here in Mesa already do have those weapons detection systems in place. Reporting live tonight in Mesa, Nicole Christine, Fox 10 News.
The man suspected of hiding while waiting to fire a rifle at Donald Trump in Florida is now facing federal charges.
And Ms. Combs calls him out now for improved Secret Service protection for the former president. Fox's Rebecca Castor has more.
The suspect in the second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump is now facing multiple federal charges. And according to court records, he has a long criminal history.
Here's the van carrying 58-year-old Ryan Ruth from the federal courthouse in West Palm Beach Monday morning. He's now charged with several gun crimes in connection to the second assassination attempt on Donald Trump.
Agents found a digital camera, a backpack, a loaded SKS-style rifle with a scope.
Court documents show Ruth was camped outside Trump's West Palm Beach golf course with food and his rifle for almost 12 hours before a Secret Service agent spotted his gun and fired. Records show this was just the latest of dozens of prior run-ins with police. Ruth posted about politics on social media often and donated to a political action committee for Democrats. Meanwhile, the acting Secret Service director was on the ground in West Palm Beach Monday, meeting with police and members of Trump's detail, as lawmakers question how the suspected gunman was able to get roughly 400 yards away from the former president.
We are demanding in the House that he have every asset available, and we will make more available if necessary.
President Biden says the agency needs more help.
I think the Congress should respond to their needs if they, in fact, need more services.
It doesn't look like this incident will keep the former president off the campaign trail. He's scheduled to be in Michigan tomorrow and New York on Wednesday.
We wish you all could have known him personally. Everyone who knew him loved him for who he was.
Zane was more than just my husband. He was my soulmate, my rock, my everything. His love will stay with me always.
In his short life, he has left for us a lasting legacy of love, sacrifice, integrity, friendship, service, honor, and distinction.
Rest in peace, Officer Coolidge. Though your watch has ended, your legacy will live on forever.
Phoenix police officer Zane Coolidge laid to rest today after being shot in the line of duty.
Family, friends, and co-workers saying their goodbyes during a service at Dream City Church in Phoenix. Fox 10's Lauren Clark was there and joins us with the somber send-off. Lauren.
Yeah, a very moving memorial service happening today. We saw lots of motorcycles out there, hundreds of people showing their support, and we heard from those who loved Zane best about the type of person he was.
The soft tune of taps and a solemn salute to a fallen officer. Dozens of motorcycles guided a white hearse below a giant American flag. As hundreds came to Dream City Church in North Phoenix to honor the life of Phoenix officer Zane Coolidge.
Zane was more than just my husband. He was my soulmate, my rock, my everything.
His wife Kristen and mom Deborah remembered his kind heart.
A neighbor told me years ago that he had seen Zane driving in the neighborhood, stop his car in the middle of the street to get out and help a woman who had fallen while walking her dog.
An empathy his colleagues said made him an exceptional officer.
He often focused on victims of children and spoke out when they couldn't. Oftentimes, he'd be seen giving a hug to a victim in their time of need.
On September 3rd, Zane was shot responding to a call of a man attempting to break into cars off of 15th Street in McDowell. He died 3 days later in the hospital. He is survived by his family, including his 5-month-old daughter, Emma.
He heard us telling him that we would take care of Kristen and Emma. He left us peacefully, knowing they would be all right.
As they laid a hero to rest, officers vowed to look after little Emma Grace.
We will be there for every milestone of your life, from your first steps, your first day of kindergarten, your first graduation. This blue family around you will be here.
His family also shared more facts about Zane. He was a twin who graduated magna cum laude from ASU. And in the police academy, he was known for running back to jog alongside the stragglers at the end to encourage everyone to finish. The suspect accused of killing Officer Coolidge is behind bars, facing several charges, including first-degree murder. Reporting live here in the studio, Lauren Clark, Fox 10 News.